FERPA. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast, Is This Going to Be on the Test? My name is Joe Burns. I'm the guy at the front of the class of your college course. I have a PhD, I am a post-hole digger, and I'm hoping to help you as much as I can through these podcasts. However, I think I'm going to be talking more to the parents in this one. I make the statement that you should, down below, ask questions, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. This question came from a parent, and I found this interesting. She was standing in my office, wasn't on the website, she was standing in my office, and she said, I want to be involved in my student's college career. Okay. And she said, all I want to do is look at his records, look at his grades and all that kind of stuff, because he won't talk to me. And I looked at her and I said, you can't. I'm sorry, you can't. And she said, but I'm paying for this. Immaterial. If I paid for a car for my son and he gets a speeding ticket, you know, they're not going to come running to me. It's him they have to worry about. Why? Because he's an adult. That's the thing. Your kid is in college, 18 years old or above. That person is an adult. And what protects the records of adults in university is called FERPA. I can never remember what it stands for. It is the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act of 1974, and it is a federal law. And in the same way HIPPA protects the records of a person's medical history, this FERPA protects the records of a student at a university. And since the student, according to FERPA law, since the student is 18 or above, he or she now has full control over what happens to those documents. Now, yes, there are caveats if it needs to be gotten into because of a criminal act and things like that, but that's not really what parents want to know. I had another parent who was rather upset about a grade that their student was not given. Grades are not given. I say that because it's sort of the common vernacular, but a student earns his grades. I do all of my grades by points. I don't do that. Well, I think this is a B. I think this is a C. And then I average it all. I don't do any of that stuff. I do everything by points. How many points did you get as opposed to how many points are in the class? Put the big number into the little number. There's your percentage. There's your grade. I think it's as fair as I can make it. But a professor, a mother said to me that she wanted to talk to me about her son's grade. And I said, no, I won't. Oh, but you have to. No, I don't. As a matter of fact, if I did, I could, from the student, be in some legal trouble. Why? FERPA. And so I just don't even talk about it. Now, what you're going to hear from people is that you, the parent, could have a document put together and signed where your son or daughter gives you permission to take a look at the records that he or she has there at the university. And it's not medical or anything like that. It is literally records of grades and degrees and all the things that make him or her a student at the university. But even if you fill out that piece of paper and you're granted full access to your son or daughter's records, me personally, I still won't talk to you about their grade. I'll talk to you about how wonderful they are and that kind of stuff, and gosh, they're nice to have in class and all of that, but how they act, what grades they get, what does their writing look like, all that kind of stuff, nope. You got to get that from your kid. And I know what some people are going to say, well, that's not really under HIPAA. You got it. It's not specifically written, but look, Caesar's wife must be above reproach. I don't even play into it, because even the most innocuous thing that I would say to a parent about a student could very well bring up some horrible thing that's in the relationship, and I'm just simply not going to do that. So I follow FERPA pretty well. I don't deal with any of the records of a student with a parent or any other family member. And that idea that I'm paying, so I have to have access, not even close. Not even close. If you go to a hospital and a person has a broken arm or what have you, and it's found in the observation room that the person has a broken arm because they were high on marijuana, if the person's an adult, that's their record. But I paid for it. I don't care. It's their adult. So there you go. Parents, that's the reason that you don't have access to your son or daughter's records, even if you do fill out the paperwork and such. And it's the reason why professors probably won't talk to you about your son or daughter's grades or their actions in the classrooms. It's called FERPA. And again, I can never remember what it is. Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act of 1974. And by the way, your kid knows about it. Now, he or she may not know about it off the top of their head, but FERPA requires that once a year, anybody who's in the system, which is going to be your kid, must receive a document or a link to a document that explains their FERPA rights. So there. Have your kid argue the grade. You're not going to do it. At least you're not going to do it with me. I won't do it. So there you go. That wraps that one up. That's pretty quick. I knew that would be short. My name is Joe Burns. This has been the podcast. Is this going to be on the test? The answer is probably.